on that note, are there some practical steps we can take to build our connection to our intuition, as I'm feeling the need to be aligned with that as we make plans for this summer and lots of decisions coming up with our children and traveling?
Did we not tell you that you would have choices to make?
Yes, you did.
See, I'm glad that you are listening to what we have to say. You would like something practical as an exercise, as a spiritual practice that you can do. So when these decisions are coming to you, you know which is the higher branch of the decision that you can reach for versus making the same decisions as you always did.
Exactly. And we've learned that you don't want to choose for us, so I want us to be able to...
Now, who do you think does the actual choosing? Is it you as Robert, or is it your higher consciousness?
It depends who I listen to.
Exactly. So how can you listen to the higher consciousness that sits above you, that sees all options and sees the golden path of the option that is the highest one, that would be the best for your highest good, as they say, to choose? So that is the ultimate question now, isn't it?
Yes.
So we'll take you on a journey. We are deciding together what would be the best way to instruct you, dearest Robert, to understand how that you can allow a connection
Thank you.
with your highest possible being.
Thank you.
Take a big deep breath. And we want you to go into, for a moment, the area of your solar plexus. For as for you, that is where your power lies, where the soul has the most of its intuitive knowing. For some others, for her, it's her heart. Her solar plexus is a little void, and it's full of things at which she's holding on to that needs to be let go of. We do not judge. So for some, it might be your heart. For some, it might be the throat. Or for others, muscle testing. But for you, Robert, we're going to take you on a little journey inside your solar plexus. And imagine, if you will, you had a mouse. A mouse that is living within a cave that lies within your solar plexus, within the cavity of your body. And this mouse only knows one thing. This mouse, let it be blind, let it only have the olfactory or the sensory of smell, and it wants the cheese. Feel this mouse now within the center of your stomach. Imagine that this mouse wants its food, wants its meal, its cheese, and it only can use one sense, its sense of smell. You are observing this mouse with your eyes, with your intuitive eyes, with your imagination. What do you imagine or notice that the mouse is going? Is it going in any particular direction?
It is looking around with its nose.
As it's looking around with its nose, what is it doing?
Breathing, smelling.
So within its first instinct is to use the sense that it has to see if it can pick up the trail. Now we're going to ask you, Robert, what senses do you normally use when you are finding something that you need or looking for a direction to go? What senses do you use as a human?
I use my eyes.
You use your eyes and you start to look around.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you think that mouse is going to get very far just using one sense?
Not unless there's an obvious smell.
Right. Let's give the mouse now another sense. Let it open its ears. For everything has a vibration. Let's just say for a moment, the mouse has attached the cheese to a sound, a certain sound that maybe the observer puts a speaker by the cheese and lets it play some Mozart or some music. And so the mouse had been trained in your solar plexus, not only to smell the cheese, but to hear the song that it plays when it knows the cheese is near. What does the mouse do now?
The mouse tries to listen and smell.
Has the mouse gotten any closer?
Not really.
When you look for something with your eyes as a human, Robert, and you can't see it, what else do you do?
I try to retrace my steps and think about where it might have been last.
So you try to go back into time, you're saying.
Yes.
So imagine the mouse sniffing with its nose and twitching its ears to hear. And then the mouse goes back into time to see, well, where was the cheese the last I left it? Has the mouse gotten any further?
Well, if the cheese is not the same place it was before, then no.
So what do you think this mouse needs now?
Well, eyes and some light.
We're glad that you said that the mouse might need some light. Some light and some eyes to enlighten, to see if there's any cheese where it's at. Who do you think turns on the light for it?
I do.
Who's that? You, the observer who's observing the mouse, turns on the light for it and gives it the sense of sight.
Yes.
Then what happens?
Now the mouse can look and shine a light like a flashlight all different directions and smell and hear.
Oh, your mouse has a flashlight.
Yes, that's the light I gave it.
So the mouse is using all of its available perceptions and the gift from the universe, from the observer himself, to have a light. Before we tell you, what do you think all of that visualization and imagination has to do with your intuition?
Well, I can imagine at some point I wasn't giving my intuition much detection ability or senses. And so it was not, or maybe it's not the intuition, it's the me trying to find the intuition. it's a little fuzz. I'm a little fuzzy on the relationships here.
That's fine. I know it seems to her to be a very strange story of which we told, but she gave us the clue, a feather sack, and
Ah, yes.
we helped her write those stories, but I digress.
Yes. Beautiful stories.
For the mouse analogy, the mouse itself is your intuition.
Oh.
And it's always been there in your solar plexus, looking for its cheese. The cheese, in every case, is your highest possible outcome.
Okay.
And your intuition has nothing but the belief that there is cheese. That there is the highest outcome that is there. And your intuition is using all the things that it can use, its sense of smell, and then intuition might grow ears to be able to hear the highest. And then your intuition might even get a gift from the universe, a light, a flashlight. And I said, let the intuition shine the flashlight on the cheese so the intuition can go and get the cheese, the highest possible outcome that's there. But what does this have to do with the human's ability? As the observer, as the one who gifted the intuition with the flashlight, there was always this sense of belief that the mouse will get to the cheese. There was no hiding necessarily of your highest possible outcome. But as the observer, as the higher one that knows where the cheese is, you must allow the mouse to use all of its resources, its senses, its inner knowing, its belief that the cheese is right there close by. In other words, you must open all of your human abilities to believe that the cheese is always going to be there. In order to open all of your abilities, you must know that you have them. You must know that they can be given to you by the observer, by your higher self, whatever you want to call it, by the creator. And to know that they're coming. Right now, Robert, you just have the sense of smell and maybe the sense of hearing. And you keep thinking, well, how am I going to find the cheese? But you can be given and use with your humanness right now the other senses to understand where the cheese is at and find that highest possible outcome. We know that our storytelling might leave you with more questions.
And I want to change the context. Instead of a flashlight, I want to put a spotlight on the cheese so it's obvious.
And why would you want to do that?
So it's a dark cave. I don't want the mouse just going around the flashlight. It's a lot harder that way. If I just put a spotlight on the cheese, nothing else is lit, it'll be straight away. Easy.
And when you're looking for a choice or looking for the answer, when you're presented with a number of choices, do you think you can shine the spotlight on the right choice.
Yes, I want to do that every time.
Well, why don't you? Or are you still holding the flashlight looking at choice 1? Is it in this corner? Is it in that corner? Who gave the mouse the flashlight? Who is holding the spotlight?
Me.
Who's that?
A part of me that's not contained in the mouse or in this body.
I want you to feel into that, for that held the vibration of your answer. It's the part of you that's not the mouse searching for cheese.
Right.
When you decide that you're going to grow and no longer be the mouse, but be the spotlight or the one holding the spotlight on the cheese, you have no need for mice.
Interesting.
The light lights up the cheese. It's the highest, lights up the highest possible choice and outcome. Consider this. When you are faced with the direction of where to go, and you are not sure if you should turn left or turn right, we want you to become the left. We want you to become the right, to become the cheese itself. Or become the light, the spotlight itself that shines upon the cheese. And you can feel the frequency as the mouse of the cheese that's there. Perhaps that's an easy way in. But if you're standing at a crossroads, take a moment to become the left or the right itself. And what feels like the cheese? What feels like the light that's shining on the cheese?
Yes, this is embodiment. This is just like when I hold a piece of food or a spice and I can imagine what it will feel like when I eat it. Well, what my body will feel like when I eat it. Same idea, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Become the light that knows where the cheese is at and shines the light on the cheese. Do not stay as the mouse. For the mouse needs a lot of help, doesn't it? It needs all these senses. It tries to use its physical senses to feel around in the dark.
Right.
When it was easy to just put the light on the cheese, like you said.
Okay.
Together you can shine a bigger light. You can easier become the light and the cheese itself.
I like that.
But for you, Robert, within your solar plexus, allow your energy to expand beyond the mouse stuck in the dark cave.
Thank you.
Yes, that was such a good question.